Greetings, Helldivers! High Command has recently given us a new setting. You can find it under Options, Graphics. Scrolling down to the bottom, we find Async Compute. This setting do not change anything visually, but it can change your performance depending on what hardware you have. The game had this enabled by default, so you should try and turn it off and see if you notice any difference in your FPS. In doing a bit of research in what this actually does, the typical answer seems to be that it offloads some work from the CPU to the GPU. However, I'm not quite sure that is exactly correct and so simple to put it that way. The other bit of information I found is that it allows for better parallel processing by the GPU. But regardless of what might be the case of how it functions, I want to show you this effect on my system at least. So I'm running a 12th Gen i9 and an Intel Arc A770 GPU, which is somewhat equivalent to an RTX 3060. So yeah, not exactly a powerhouse, but decent enough. But yeah, my CPU is quite powerful. So you can see the performance of the GPU at 88%, and you can also actually observe the compute going on at 22%. You can also observe this in Windows Task Manager. The only other games where I have observed activity from the compute unit is in games where I have enabled ray tracing, something like The Witcher 3, Alan Wake 2 or Metro Exodus. But yeah, I don't think there's ray tracing in Helldivers 2, so I'm not quite sure what it is working on in this game. If you want to look at your performance in the game, you can actually do this without using any third-party overlay. Just press F2 and you get your FPS in the top right corner. Press F3 for also the frame timing, and F4 expands a whole lot of stuff. And F5 shows you also the network connectivity and ping, which I think is pretty neat. So I will just jump into a quick solo mission to test the async. The settings I'm using is 1440p resolution, and the graphic setup is one that I got from a YouTuber that goes by Willy. He created this really awesome optimization guide where he breaks down all the settings, what they do, and how much of an impact on performance they have. So check him out. For my test, I spent 2 minutes battling the automatons with async compute on, then 2 minutes with async compute off, and it came out in favor of async compute off, with the average FPS increasing by +5, the 1% low by +5, and the 0.1% low by +6. So I think if async compute offloads work from the CPU to the GPU, it makes sense in my instance that turning it off actually improves performance, since I have a pretty powerful CPU and my GPU is mid-range, last gen mid-range, right? So yeah, but you will have to try for yourself. It very much depends on your hardware. So give it a shot and let me know in the comments what results you get. I'm quite curious to know. And yeah, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would very much appreciate that.
Whoa. What?